We need to go back into ejecting and making sure that Real Madrid are scared across the whole of Europe. As soon as July started, season started. And I love the fact that Jose Mourinho came in straight in and understood in terms of what he needed to do.
Real Madrid wasted the most talented attack in football for 2 years. This summer, they may have fixed it without buying a single superstar. One quiet signing is about to solve a problem that Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham could not solve together for 2 straight seasons. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you will know exactly which player did it and why it should scare the rest of Europe. For 2 years, Real Madrid had maybe the most talented attack on the planet and still won nothing with it. Not because the players were not good enough. Something else was breaking this team from the inside, something that had nothing to do with talent at all. Once you see what it was, you cannot unsee it. So answer this. How does a team with Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and Jude Bellingham win nothing? Not one trophy outside a Super Cup, in a season where Mbappe personally scored more than almost every forward in Europe. That should not be possible. 3 of the best attacking players alive on the same team, and the trophy case stayed empty. So what actually went wrong? It starts with space. Mbappe wants the ball on the left, cutting inside onto his right foot, the exact spot that made him the most feared scorer of his generation in Paris. One problem. Real Madrid already had a left winger. Vinicius had spent years building his whole game around that same spot, taking the ball wide and attacking the fullback one-on-one. Put 2 of the best attackers on earth in the same small patch of grass and you do not get depth. You get a crash. And that crash showed up everywhere. On defense, Mbappe was one of the least active forwards in Europe when it came to tracking back. Now put 2 attackers on the same side who both refuse to defend, and the whole midfield is left exposed behind them. Teams took advantage of it fast. Atletico put 5 past them. Bayern knocked them out of the Champions League. The talent never disappeared. The setup just could not hold it together. Here is where it gets interesting. One signing this summer quietly solved a problem Madrid could not fix for 2 years. And it is not the name you are expecting. Yan Diomande arrives from Leipzig, and on paper he looks like just another winger. He is not. Last season he ranked among the best one-on-one dribblers in all of Europe, and he also led his league in duels won, meaning he actually defends his side. For the first time in years, Madrid have a real right-sided option who is not just a midfielder playing out of position. That one signing unlocks something this club has not had in 2 seasons. It lets Mbappe finally play through the middle, where he has wanted to play all along, without the right side falling apart behind him. That fixes one side. The second fix might matter even more. Madrid have not had a true control midfielder since Kroos and Modric walked out the door. Bernardo Silva does not fix that by doing anything flashy. He fixes it by simply not losing the ball under pressure, which sounds small until you realize it is exactly what has been missing while 4 attackers all leaned on a midfield that could not keep the ball. Pair Silva with Tchouaméni holding the center, and suddenly the front 4 get to attack instead of dropping deep just to keep possession. Now here's the part that should really change how you see this attack. Every single player in it has already shown you, on their own, exactly what they look like with a clear job. You just were not watching the right competition. Vinicius, alone out wide left with no one crowding him, was arguably the best winger alive before Mbappe's arrival mixed everything up. He has now signed a new long-term deal at the club because he believes this plan finally works. Bellingham, freed to attack the box from the number 10 spot instead of tracking back for 2 forwards who would not defend, led England to one of their best major tournament runs in decades this summer. Mbappe, central and selfish in the best way, remains the most efficient scorer in world football no matter the system. None of that quality was ever in question. The only question was whether anyone could organize it. Which brings us to the puzzle Mourinho is staring at right now, and it is a tough one. You cannot just tell 4 world-class attackers to share space and expect them to listen. Mbappe wants central. Bellingham wants central. Vinicius needs the left kept open, and that now overlaps with wherever Mbappe drifts. Diomande needs the right kept clear to be useful, and that only works if nobody gets in his way. 4 players. 4 different ideas about where the best space on the pitch is. Only one of them can be right at any moment, and someone has to be the one to enforce that. Mourinho is that someone. It is exactly why he is back in Madrid. This is a manager who has never been afraid to tell a superstar exactly where he is and is not allowed to go, ego or not. His first time at this club won a league title and reached 3 Champions League semifinals by putting that same discipline on a dressing room full of players who did not always want to hear it. Reports from this preseason say he has already spotted the same bad habits his predecessor pointed out a year earlier. The difference this time is that nobody expects him to get talked out of his plan by star power. Nobody ever has. The early tactical picture backs this up. Madrid looks set to line up in a 4-2-3-1. Diomande and Vinicius stretch the width from either side, Bellingham sits just behind Mbappe through the middle, and a real double pivot protects the back line for the first time in years. This is not talent stacked on top of talent, hoping it sorts itself out. This is talent with actual limits, for the first time since this front four came together. Will it work right away? Almost certainly not. This exact group has never started a game together. Several of them only rejoined the squad days before preseason ended, and rebuilding a midfield from scratch takes time no matter who is in charge. Expect a few rough performances in September while all of this gets worked out under real match pressure. But here is what should actually worry the rest of Europe. For the first time in 2 seasons, Real Madrid do not just have talent stacked on top of talent, hoping it works itself out eventually. They have a manager whose whole career has been built on the hard, unglamorous work of getting superstars to share a pitch. They have a right-sided option that finally takes the pressure off the left. They have a real midfield anchor for the first time since Kroos and Modric left. And they have 4 attackers who have each already proven, on the biggest stages in the sport, exactly what they look like the moment their job is clear. Stop asking whether Real Madrid have enough talent. Nobody has doubted that in years. The only question left is what happens the moment all of that talent finally has somewhere to go. And this season, for the first time in a long time, it just might. If you want to see exactly how Diamond fits into all of this, I broke down his whole game in a video linked right here.